Armani. What's going on, beautiful people? It is your host, the God Armani, and you are tuned into the God Armani podcast. I know. It's been a minute. Listen, your boy been busy. Okay. Anyway, so jumping right into it, cause we ain't got time to waste. Did I ever tell y'all that I was dating two people and they both ghosted me? My goodness. I know. It's crazy, right? And I know that this is probably where y'all think like, okay, yeah, he's the problem. He's toxic or whatever, people be thinking. One, I'm not toxic. I do have things that I need to learn and unlearn that I am actively working on. I can say that, and I will always hold myself accountable if and when I am wrong and or at fault or whatever the case may be. Two, I don't think that it was necessarily my fault. I'm not fully blaming them. However, I don't necessarily think that is my fault. Again, if ever when I am at fault, I will hold myself accountable. So, first of all, again, because I already said first of all. So yes, I was dating these two women, two totally different people, but also very similar. It's so crazy. And one lives here in LA, the other one lives on the East Coast. Now, if you know me or if you ever really listen to me talk, you know I don't do long distance. However, me and the person on the East Coast has had history. And so we had previously dated as teenagers, which it doesn't count, but I guess it can count depending on who you ask, right? For me, it didn't count, but also there were still like, oh, I still care about this person. I still remember this person. I kind of remember, the situation that we had when we were younger, blah, 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 whatever. And it seems like she never forgot because it left a mark. It hurt her, right? And I did apologize for that actually multiple times. Anyway. And by the way, if you're listening, yeah, what's up, girl? Um, I'm quite sure she ain't listening, but if you is, yeah, what's up, girl? I ain't your friend anymore. Anyway, wish you the best though. So yeah, so let's start with the one on the East Coast. So, and then for the sake of this episode, we gonna call her the East Coast girl. So the East Coast girl, right? We reconnected through social media, and like we were always talking, like it was started as something so innocent and all the things because she was at the time dealing with someone and coming out of that. We would talk, here and there, and then it started to become routine. And my thing that I dislike about creating routines with someone is you get used to it because it is routine, right? And so I want to say unknowingly, but also probably somewhat knowingly created this routine of talking every day, whether it's texting, whether it's on video, whether it's a phone call, whatever. But we had created a routine, and it was something that we both got used to, so much so to the point where there would be times where she would be extremely busy with all the things that she's doing. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to let you go because I have to do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, no, you can stay on the phone, or like, would say or do little things to let me know, like, you don't have to hang up. And I would show that, vice versa. Like there would be times where I didn't want to hang up. I didn't want to not be texting or whatever it was. I also would be respectful of her time and, capacity of all the many things that she was doing, because truth be told, it was like full overload over there. But anyway, so creating this routine, which lasted 6 months, that's a long time. That is an entire long time. It's not a year, it's not 2 years, not none of that, but 6 months when you have a consistent routine of talking to someone every single day. I mean, waking up, sometimes you're still on video with them. Going to sleep, you're on video with them, or you're on the phone with them every single day. It pulls you in, and you build something with someone, right? And she actually stopped talking to me twice. So technically I was ghosted twice. And I know, red flag, right? Because it's like, well, why wouldn't you just stop talking to her the first time? Again, like I said at the beginning, I am learning and unlearning certain things. So the first time we had like a little fallout, we had like a clash of words or whatever the hell happened, and she stopped talking to me. And now, mind you, it was only for 4 days. However, 24 hours is long, right? I know. I have to laugh because I know that what I'm about to say is going to sound a little clingy, but I'm not clingy. I'm a Leo, so I'm not clingy. I'm territorial. If you know anything about cats, cats are territorial. So I'm territorial, and when I create a routine with someone and it's consistent, it's long lasting. Of course, like when the routine gets out of sync or whatever, it's like, okay, what the hell's going on? It makes you irritable, or it made me irritable. So anyway, so the 4 days felt like, I don't know, like a week, because it's like, okay, at this time I'm usually talking to such and such, we're usually texting, whatever, and it's like those things weren't happening. And we both are stubborn ass people, right? And so I had to check myself, and talking to my therapist and also working on my own shit, like, internally and externally at home. I'm like, okay, how are we gonna work through this, dude? Like, you got two options here. Either you are going to stay in your stubbornness and you're not gonna budge, you're not gonna contact her, and you're just gonna let it go, or you can reach out to her. But how do you reach out? What do you say? And so my therapist had recommended that I write a letter, whether I physically send it or, type it up and send it, whatever. Like, just write a letter of everything that I need to say, because also there's a part that I skipped. One of the things that I disliked about this woman is that she will often cut me off when I was talking, no matter how many times I kept telling her that that is a sign of disrespect. It's very dismissive and it's distasteful. And I've told her that multiple times through text, vocally saying it, like in person. I said it, like multiple times I said it, but she would continue to do. A few times she would apologize and would quote unquote work on it, right? Okay, so I left that part out. Now y'all know it's more context to the story. Okay. So my therapist recommended writing the letter. Regardless of how it got to her, just write the letter, write all your emotions, all your feelings out, and get it to her. Okay, cool, great, not a problem. So I took those 4 days, or at least 2 of those 4 days, to really process my emotions, process my feelings, and, like take a step back and just, really write down what I was thinking, write down exactly what I needed to say, what was important, and not all the dumb shit, like just what really mattered and what I think she needed to know. Okay. So I wrote the letter. Well, I typed it up. I screenshotted it, like a picture or whatever, and I sent them to her. She actually read them, and then she finally responded to me after those 4 days, and was like, "Hey, I got your letter. When you get time, let's do a call. Let's talk about it." Okay, not a problem. I'm still in my feelings because it's been 4 days. You ain't text me, you ain't call me, nothing. And I don't know, you still got this attitude, whatever. That shit fucks with your nervous system. Like, when you really start feeling some type of way about somebody, and you're building something with them or whatever, and you're creating, again, this routine, you be in your feelings, because it could be love, it could be it could be love. It could be deep feelings. It could be falling in love, or it could just be that you love and care for this person. It could be all of the above, right? And for me, I'm usually single for a long time in between relationships, and I mean like years, like 4 years, 7 years, whatever. So I'm usually single for a long time, and so I'm not going to say it's an attachment thing. However, again, I knew this person as a kid. I never forgot her. And when we reconnected, it was like we kind of picked up where we left off, but now as adults, and we are relearning each other and everything. And again, through the routine. Yes, you're going to keep hearing that word when talking about the East Coast girl. Yeah, it's like our feelings started to develop and everything. However, somewhere along the line, I did realize, like, okay, she just got out of a relationship, because by now, after a few months or whatever, the relationship was over, and she was working through that, whatever. And now here's where I hold myself accountable. I will say that at first, yes, it was more of an innocent friend thing, reconnecting, blah, blah, blah. But then it started to develop into something more because of the routine, right? Okay, so flirting and, phone sex and all the other things. So things start, getting a little deeper, right? And I started to feel like I was falling in love with this person. Yes, that's the honest truth. I started to feel like I think I'm falling in love with this person. And though I don't know if that's what it actually was, it could have just been a moment of someone um, creating a routine, being respectful, being loving, being caring. We did have sex once, and well, a few times. And I don't know. It's just, see, now I'm like trying to explain to y'all, but I'm also getting jumbled in my words in my mind. Okay, so we did have sex a few times, and I feel like personally that made it a little bit worse as far as my feelings go, right? Because now I'm starting to get a little more deeper in, and if it seemed like she was, but then she started to pull back. Now she said it was because she was overwhelmed with life and all these things and blah 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 bullshit, right? And so now, mind you, I skipped a part. After those 4 days, we started talking. We established boundaries. We established what we like and dislike, what we will and won't tolerate, all the things, whatever. And I let her know, if you do this again, if you stop talking to me again, if you just go ghost again, I'm not reaching out. I'm not doing that shit. And we're done. To y'all, it may sound like an ultimatum or whatever. However, I'm closer to 40 than I am to 30. I don't have time for that shit. I'm very big on communication, and I mean healthy communication. Every day, if you have a cell phone, I don't give a fuck who you are. I might not know y'all personally, but in my opinion, every day, if you have a phone, you have your phone in your hand at least once a day. At least once. It takes you 5 to 10 seconds to not you don't even have to hold the phone. You can literally tell your phone, regardless of what operating system it uses, hey, text such and say, hey, I might not talk to you this week because X, Y, and Z, just giving you a heads up. Or, hey, I'm not feeling good today. I might talk to you tomorrow or the day after. Something. It takes you 5 to 10 seconds to do that. You don't even have to touch your phone. You literally can talk to your phone and your phone will do it for you. So the fact that a person can create a routine with you, build feelings and this relationship and all these things, and then just go ghost, don't give no reason, don't send a text, don't send a voice note, don't send nothing, and on top of that, leave you on red via text and via Instagram is wild. And to me, that is someone that is not emotionally intelligent. That is someone that is immature. That is someone that has so much shit that they need to work on before they can even enter into a relationship with anybody. And that has been my problem, that I have been emotionally intelligent. I have been emotionally available and other people have not. And I had to learn that. And I also had to, like I said earlier, I had to take a step back because a part of me was forgetting, okay, this person is fresh out of a relationship. You can't build something with someone who is at this point of where they're still stuck in the past. It's fresh for them. They still have this open wound. And so I actually verbally said it to her that, my bad, I need to take a step back because I keep forgetting that you just got out of a relationship, whereas I've been single for going on 5 years now. So my bad if it seems like I'm coming on too strong or if I'm more ready than you are. Now, there was so much other context to the conversations that we were having. Like, 1 minute it's like, okay, like, I'll move to California, we can do this, look at houses, blah blah blah, all this other stuff, to then now all of a sudden I'm coming on too strong, and I'm being aggressive with the things that I'm doing. How am I being aggressive when you literally just told me to look at houses for you? You literally just told me that you were looking at jobs over here. So, like, dealing with people like that is not healthy, and I highly recommend, one, not trying to rush into something and making sure that you have clarification, even if that means that you have to ask 5 and 6 or 20 fucking times. I don't care. Make sure that you are on the same page with someone as best that you can. People can lie. Yes, people can lie. They can put on the facade, all of that stuff, put on a happy face, and they can also switch up, right? But do your best to check in with yourself, but also try to check in with them, and hopefully they are honest, they are transparent, they are upfront about everything, so that there isn't other things that are like causing you to now question yourself and feel like you're doing something wrong, or whatever the case may be. So anyway, so after 6 months of routine and of talking to someone every day, building relationships, starting to kind of talk about a future and plan future things or whatever, the motherfucker ghosted me. The motherfucker ghosted me. And it was hard because it was fucking with my nervous system. Like, for those first 2 weeks were very hard for me because I couldn't sleep. It was hard for me every day because it's like I'm used to going to sleep with this person. I'm used to being on the phone and talking at this time. I'm used to this. I'm used to that. And so it was really hard for me. And I'm being very honest, very transparent. I know that some people talk shit about men talking about their feelings and emotions, but at the end of the day, men, we're still fucking human. So if you don't like what I gotta say, get the fuck out of here. But for those of you that are listening, that understand, that can appreciate my vulnerability, my honesty, and all that, I appreciate y'all. But yeah, so it was a very hurtful situation. And I'm happy to say that I am now at a point where maybe this person will pop up in my mind, like, I don't know, maybe like once a week, but it's not like, oh, I missed this. But no, it's just like certain things will trigger a thought, like a song, or if I see a certain time, or if I hear or see certain things, like certain things will just trigger stuff. However, I know me, I love me, I believe in me, I'm proud of me, and I put me first. And had I not put me first, had I not been working on myself and learning and unlearning things, I would have still been like feeling like I needed to beg this person for their time, for their attention, and keep asking them, well, why aren't you talking to me? Why? Hell no, I ain't doing that shit. Especially when I already told you the first time you tried to go ghost. And I said, if you did that shit again, I was done. One thing about me is I'm a motherfucker of my word. I am a person of my word, a man of my word. I'm somebody that when I tell you I'm going to do something, or when I tell you that this is what it is and I'm not going to tolerate that shit, I mean that shit. That's one thing that anybody that knows me can tell you about me. I don't fucking play with my word and my reputation. So anyway, hopefully none of y'all have had to deal with that. And if you do, I'm sorry. I hope that you are healing and or healed from that situation. Don't ever beg people to love you, to give you attention, to give you time, whatever, because a motherfucker that really love you, that really care for you, that really want you, that want to be around you, that want to be with you, or whatever it is, because this goes for any type of relationship, parents, lovers, children, co-workers, friends, whoever. Like, this could be for anybody. You should never have to beg a motherfucker to be in your life. If motherfuckers don't make time to be in your life, leave them fucking people where they are. Leave them where they are, period. Now, as for the other motherfucker that goes to me, now this person was in closer proximity, which means we spent a little more time together. However, and this is the LA girl, we're gonna call her the LA girl. However, she had terrible communication also. Like, I will say that as an adult, I'm not a child. As an adult, I understood that, she was in school, she had 2 jobs and all these other, I understand that. Okay, cool. But as people say, you make time for what you want, right? And so we met at one of my events, and we connected after that, and then we went on a date. Now, we already had miscommunication the first when we were going on our first date because, as far as I remember, so first of all, let me put this context in there. I'm a few years older. I'm in my 30s. This person is in their 20s. Now, the way that we talk is a little bit different, right? And so there was a comment made of, so I let her know that I'm vegan, right? Because we were trying to figure out, what to do for our first date, blah, 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 whatever. And she was saying, well, hey, like, I would like to, take you to this vegan spot or whatever, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. Now, if you are someone like me, to where you are like over 35, but as far as I know, back in the day, a lot of us, and even present day, but I just mean like the way our language is for people of a certain age. If somebody says, hey, I want to take you somewhere, blah, 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 in your mind, you might be thinking, oh, okay, so this person wants to pay for it, right? Am I right or am I wrong? Now everybody done told the story too, or the situation too. They like, yeah, if a motherfucker tell me that they want to take me somewhere, it sounds like they're treating. Now I will say, I never asked for clarification of what that meant. I just went along with again what we would assume, and I was wrong for assuming, which something I rarely ever do. I'm not gonna say never because that would be a lie, but something I rarely ever do. I think I might have been so excited because this would have been my first date in a very long time that I did not ask for clarification. Because again, when people say, hey, I want to take you to, or I wanted this is this, it's them saying that they want to cover it, right? All right. So I never asked for clarification. Boom. So I already know something that I was taught by my parents is to like, don't leave home without money, and, don't go nowhere empty handed, and make sure that you always got you at least to pay for a snack, food, whatever, and get yourself back home. Cool. Not a problem. So now I just do it without thought, right? Okay. So I will say I was late to the date. That's not like me. That is not like me, but I had business stuff going on and I was communicating my lateness, ETA, all of that stuff. All right. So I get to the date late. I brought flowers because I didn't want to go empty handed, right? Okay. So now I'm looking at the menu, and I'm at a point in my life where I have had to restart and restructure my life. So certain things is not in the financial plan. Okay, all right. So this is where this comes about at. So I'm looking at the menu and I'm looking at stuff, and I'm like, all right, well, I ain't gonna get something that's gonna be too expensive for her, but also because we didn't get clarification and now I'm late, I don't feel like asking for it and having this conversation. I'm gonna just make sure I get something that's affordable for both of us, just in case. That's how I thought about the situation. All right. So now we get the food comes, blah, blah, blah. All right, now we eat, we have a good time, we chat a little bit. The date was quick because the place was closing. So on top of me being late, the place was actually about to close too. So we had to kind of not eat fast, but we couldn't just sit for hours and talk and eat, whatever. Okay. So now the place was closing. The check comes. Okay. She like, oh, actually, can we get separate checks? And in my mind, I bust out laughing because I'm like, yo, I knew something said to ask for fucking clarification. I did not. That's me now holding myself accountable. I did not ask for clarification of, are you paying for my food? Okay. So y'all heard me publicly just hold myself accountable. Okay, not a problem. All right. So I'm like separate. And my mom think I'm like separate checks. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, oh, we getting separate checks? She like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool, not a problem. So again, I made sure I got me. So we pay for our food, our separate checks, whatever. We leaving. And she like, well, like I'm not ready to go home. Like let's continue the date. Like what can we do? So we sit in her car. We talk for hours, whatever. Okay. Now, while we were sitting in her car talking, she did ask, no bullshit, she did ask for feedback as to the date. And I was like, feedback? She's like, yeah, like, do you have any feedback, like, as to the date, like how it went, like any feedback about me, blah, 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 whatever. And so I brought up what I just said to y'all that, well, I will say in the future for any dates, whether this was me or anybody else, in often or usually when people say that, hey, I want to take you somewhere, it's them saying essentially that they are paying for it, they're covering because they're inviting you out. So being mindful of that, going forward when you're telling somebody that you want to take them out. Now I know that some people they like, nah, this just this broke dude shit that don't got nothing to do with it. It's the point of communication and saying, hey, I want to take you somewhere. Because often if a man says that, oh, okay, you want to take me out, you want to do this, so now it shouldn't be different if the shoe's on the other foot for a woman or for a non-binary person, whoever. It should be the same for everybody. If anybody says, hey, I want to take you, blah blah blah, that should come off as the same of, oh, okay, so you're offering, that means you want to pay. However, in addition to that, everybody should still ask for clarification. Even if a person offers to take you out, you should then follow up with, okay, so does that mean that you're paying for everything? Because I did not do that. And again, so that's me holding myself accountable. Cool. Now, so I said that to her, and she was thinking about it, like trying to backtrack to where it happened, blah, 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 whatever. She was like, okay, not a problem. And I don't remember she gave me feedback. Besides me being late, I don't remember none of the feedback that she gave. And I don't even know if she said something about me being late, but I know I did apologize for it a few times. But anyway, so now We go from the first date, we again she had poor communication, right? So like we go on the first date and then we would talk for a couple of days and then she would just disappear for a couple of days. It would take her like a day or two, sometimes 3 days to respond to text messages. And it's like, girl, like I know you busy, but what the fuck? Like if you like somebody, you going on dates and stuff, whatever. Why take you so long to respond? And I remember saying this to the East Coast girls. So mind you, they knew about each other. One thing about me is if I'm dating multiple people at the same time, everybody gonna know that there's other people because I don't want nobody to call me a liar or say I'm a hoe or I'm trying to be a pimp or I'm not none of that. So anyway, so yeah, so I remember specifically telling the East Coast girl, like, yeah, I don't even when we finally stopped talking, like I don't even talk to her anymore because she got poor communication and I feel like she ghosted me. So anyway, so now we go on a date. After that, at some point, we went on we didn't go on another day. She came over. We did go out to get food, but then we came back to my crib. We chilled, whatever. Now, she was the one that initiated sex. Cool. For anybody that's judging because people have sex on the first date, second date, whatever, go judge your grandma. I don't give a fuck. I'm grown. My life is my life. I make my decisions, whatever. Cool. There is no standard, there is no rule as to, oh, you not supposed to, you do what the fuck you want in your life. It's people that meet on apps daily just to do that without going on dates, without asking questions, without getting to know each other. They just be fucking. So before a whole judgment, go judge your grandma. Okay. For those of you that are still listening, that are interested, that are not judging, appreciate y'all. Now, so yeah, so the second time she comes over, we hang out, we talk. We talk a lot actually, which I did enjoy. I felt like overall for her age, for her to be in her 20s, she was very mature, very independent, just poor communication. As far as like texting and phone calls, poor communication, but otherwise the communication was great outside of those two things. So yeah, so we got food, we came back, we chilled, we talked, we had fun. She initiated sex and I was like, whoa. I'm like, you sure? She's like, yeah. So I'm like, okay. So, we did the thing, whatever, cool, not a problem. Everything was good. We took a nap, then we woke up, she left because she had to work. All right, cool. So after that, like, it was like, oh, I can't wait to come back over again, blah, 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 this is cool, whatever. She, there was a second time that she came over. And I let her know beforehand, like, listen, I don't want to focus on sex every time you come here. Like, I'm trying to do things differently. I know in the past, whoever I was talking to, like, it was usually about sex. But I don't want to be like that. Like, I'm getting older. My mind is changing. I'm learning and unlearning things. I'm a different type of guy now. Like, I don't want for every time you come over here for us to focus on sex. And one of my best friends has had to tell me I dislike that she said it, but the truth was the truth. She said that sometimes I be having sex with people too fast when I don't even know them. And that has been a true thing. And to y'all, some of y'all, it might be TMI. I don't give a fuck. Again, this is my safe space, the God Armani safe space for me to say what I need to say about my experiences. And I don't give a fuck if y'all motherfuckers judge me. I can't hear you anyway. Don't read the comments, none of that stuff, whatever. So anyway, so one of my best friends had to tell me, like, you be having sex with people too fast. Like, you don't even know these people. And then when they start acting weird or start acting crazy or whatever, it's like you really only got yourself to blame because you chose to, be intimate with them so fast when you really didn't know them. Again, I didn't like that she said that, but there was a lot of truth to that. Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. So, all right. So again, getting to know this girl or whatever, and now this is our third time together, and I'm letting her know, like, all right, listen, I would love for you to come over. You can stay the night or you can just come over for a couple hours. We can chill. We can get food. We can talk. I could cook, whatever it is. But I don't want to focus on us having sex every time. Now, we can get naked and we can cuddle and we can be intimate, whatever, but I don't want to focus on having sex. It wasn't that I didn't want to have the sex, because of course I did. But I didn't want that to be the main focus and for that to happen every time. Like, I wanted us to be able to be, adults that could have fun together without sex. And I noticed that often a lot of people's relationships are dead without sex. It's like it's only fun during sex, but outside of that, they're boring as fuck. I don't want that, and I hope that a lot of people take heed to that and unlearn that. But anyway, so talking about me again. Yeah, so after that, I think she felt some type of way, but she did still, come over and we had a good time. We cuddled, we laid there, whatever. And it was nice. It was fun. We both enjoyed it, whatever. And then we talked, I think the next day after she left, and we both were like in and out of the state or whatever. Like we both were traveling, whatever. And so our communication was a little bit off or whatever. And then I had sent her a voice note. I sent her a text message, I sent her a voice note. She responded to the text message. She never responded to the voice note. Now, I know how technology is. So maybe on her end it didn't go through. I don't know. And here's where I hold myself accountable. I never sent a follow-up response to the voice note. So that would have been me sending a text, a voice note, and another text. I just sent the text. She responded to the text and I sent the voice note. She never responded. I don't know if she got it, but I also was like, she already had the miscommunication. Oh, also a point of context that I forgot to add. After I mentioned after the first date that, going forward for her to be mindful of her saying, I would like to take somebody out on a date, blah, 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 because they may assume that it means she's covering it and then they get on a date and then she asks for separate checks. That could piss somebody off, or it could be like a red flag or however a person may see it. So after that, she would always jokingly bring it up. So it really pissed her off that I said that to her. So she would always jokingly, like she would laugh about it, but you could tell it was something that really irritated the fuck out of her. So she will always bring that shit up. To me, it was like a joke, but I started reading into that because why you keep bringing this up? But like, and you're bringing it up as a joke. If it was something that bothered you, then you should say that. So also to that same point, she then one day texted me and was like, I went through all of our messages and I don't see nowhere where I said that I wanted to treat you to the date, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. Now, y'all probably don't remember, but again, at the beginning of me talking about the situation with her and I and our messages, I said, from what I remember, this is what she said, because this is what we discussed. She was like, I know this, this vegan spot that, we should try, blah, blah, blah. I would like to take you, da, da, da. That's what I remember. But now at this point, because she was so pissed off, she says that she went through all our messages and she don't see nowhere where she said that. I'm telling y'all what I remember, and then I'm telling y'all what she said. Somewhere along the lines, something is off, right? But I never took my time to go back after she said that. Like, it just annoyed me so much. I didn't even give a fuck to go back through the messages and see where she said it, because again, I remember what I remember. Okay, so anyway. So yeah, so we started falling, like the communication, excuse me, started being it just started being real like weird, because it's like I text you, you took like a day to respond, and you text me back, then I send you a voice note, you don't respond to it, and I'm like, I don't want to, I don't know. Again, like I said to y'all earlier, I don't like feeling like I'm begging a motherfucker or like I'm doing too much. I hate to feel like that. So if I already sent you a text message, if I already sent you a voice note, I feel like that's enough. To me, that's enough. I'm not going to text you or call you or whatever a third and fourth fucking time when I know you probably, for the most part, I know you got this shit, or at least you got the text message. So now, before y'all even say anything, keep listening. Even if she never got the voice note, she did get that text message from me and she did respond, right? So now maybe it's possible that she responded to the last text message and she didn't get the voice note. After a week or so go by, if you was really liking me, it never crossed your mind like, damn, I ain't heard from him. Let me make sure he got my message, right? Or let me see if he okay. I haven't heard from him, whatever. So neither one of us reached the fuck out. Technically, I did, because I sent the voice note. But again, let's just say she didn't get the voice note. So it looks like she responded last, but she never reached out again after that to say, hey, I ain't heard from you. You okay? How you doing? When's our next date? When can I come over? Nothing. So a week go by, 2 weeks go by, nothing. That's considered fucking ghosting, in my opinion. What y'all think? Because again, even though it might seem like to her I didn't reach out, I did. I sent the voice note, but maybe she didn't get it. But even still, as the weeks went by, technically neither one of us reached out, but I did send the voice note. But again, just in case she didn't get the voice note, she never reached the fuck out and said, hey, I heard from you. Yo, you good? Hey, when's our next date? Just checking in. Nothing. Don't that wouldn't that come off as ghosting to y'all? So that is why I said that I was dating two people. And I got ghosted because on my end, the way that communication has been, the way technology is set up, all that shit, I feel like I got ghosted by both of them. Because I could see they, mind you, they both have been on social media since those last moments of talking to both the LA girl and the East Coast girl. Both of them have been on social media, and I know because they shit pop up on my timeline. And or the LA girl, which also, if you listen to, yeah, hey girl, hope everything is going well. I ain't your friend no more either. um, ain't got no bad blood with you, but you know, like, anyway, some miscommunication, whatever it is. But anyway, so yeah, so with both of them, I could see that they was on social media. And it pissed me off because it's like, so y'all got y'all phone in y'all hands. Remember what I said to y'all earlier? I personally feel like if somebody has a cell phone, at least once every fucking day, they touch their phone. And even if they don't touch their phone, it's easy for them to tell their phone, hey, whatever operating system, text him and say this. Or text him and say, you could have even told your phone to text me and say, you know what, I don't think this is working out. I had a good time. It was fun while it lasted. Or it was fun while it lasted, but I wish you the best. Something that never happened. And again, I've held myself accountable for parts where I feel at fault. Cool, not a problem. So yes, I feel like these two people ghosted me, yet and still they were still on social media. I could see when the LA girl will watch my stories. I don't know if y'all noticed, but y'all can see the people who watches your fucking stories when they look at them. So I could see the LA girl checking out my stories. Even presently, as I'm fucking recording this episode, I just seen that she was looking at my stories and still has yet to reach out to me. And no, I have not reached back out to her. But again, like I said, I did send a voice note. Now, if she got it or not, I don't know. But I did send a voice note. So technically on my end, when you look at my messages and shit, I reached out last. But neither one of us has checked in and said, hey, you cool, whatever. Because again, for me, I don't like feeling like I'm begging somebody or like I'm doing too much. And I also got to a point where I didn't give a fuck enough, because if you got poor communication and you make me feel like I'm a liar, you make me feel like then I don't give a fuck either, period. And then with the other person, it's like, no, this person, the East Coast girl, no, she wasn't watching my stories, but she was still posting on social media or Facebook. Literally one day, I had just posted something, or I had just opened up Facebook and it said such and such posted 2 minutes ago. So your phone is in your fucking hand. And my other issue that I meant to say earlier in this is that I really despise when I care about people, when I like people, when I love people, whatever it is, and they go ghost and they disappear. And I understand that, sometimes people be depressed. They're going through shit in life, and I gotta not take stuff personal. Okay, on one hand, yes, I do get all those things, and I try not to, right? I really do. Yes, it's something I still have to work through. I try not to take things personal, because I also know that sometimes I have my days where I don't want to talk to people. However, I still, for the most part, will text people and communicate. Like, yo, like, I'm in pain today. I don't feel like this. For the most part, there are some people that I don't do that with, but then there are some people that I do, specifically people that I care about, my child, my family, people I'm dating, whatever, like my best friends. Like, those are the people that, like, I will reach out and be like, listen, I ain't feeling too good, so you probably gonna hear from me for a while, but I'm cool though. Like, like, I'll let them know something. But for people to talk to me and not tell me shit, and then I'm over here worried, like, well, damn, is this person dead? Like, are they okay? Are they having a crisis? Are they cool? Like, I'm over here fucking worried. But now I'm getting on social media and I see y'all motherfuckers is acting. I'm like, okay, these bitches ain't dead. And bitches any gender. I told y'all that before. I don't just go around calling women specifically, or femmes, or whatever, women identified people, whatever. I don't just go around calling them bitches. Bitch is any gender. I don't give a fuck how you identify. If I call you a bitch, you a bitch. To me, you a bitch. Anyway, so in my mind, I'm like, well, damn, at least I know these bitches ain't dead. They alive. They in their phones. They just ain't fucking reach out to me. Cool, not a problem. So anyway, So yes, y'all. Now y'all been in my business. I done told y'all a lot of my shots. The guy Armani has been ghosted by two fucking people within a 2 or 3 month period. That shit happened like back to back to me. Like, it is so fucking wild. It's so fucking wild. So that's why when people be like, I know you got hoes, I know you got people, I really don't. And I don't even have the capacity for motherfuckers at this point. I really don't, because shit like that leave like a bad taste in my mouth for other people. And I know I can't harbor that, I can't hold that, and I can't make other people who did not hurt me or who did not ghost me or who did not, mistreat me or do anything bad to me. I know I can't make them pay for something that other people did. I'm well aware of that, and I do my best not to, but I'm very transparent about that. So if you are now coming into my life, and or if you are now someone that is trying to pursue me, if you are someone that is interested in me or whatever, anything like that or anything of the above, you need to know I despise poor communication. I despise when motherfuckers make me feel like I'm doing too much. I despise when motherfuckers make me feel like I ain't worth their fucking time. I fucking despise when motherfuckers make me feel like I have to beg them for anything. Time, attention, affection. I don't give a fuck what. I'm not begging you for shit. If you cannot properly communicate with me, if you cannot be transparent with me, if you cannot be honest with me, and if you don't make time for, I'm cool off you, dog. That goes for anybody. Anybody. I hope y'all don't ever get ghosted or motherfuckers make y'all feel like y'all, have been ghosted. I hope y'all don't ever have to deal with that, because that shit don't feel good. Especially when you know you a cool ass person, you are a loving, caring person. You kind, you give people time and attention. You go out your way for people. That's other things that I ain't even gonna talk about. But I used to, because I'm learning and unlearning things, and I'm unlearning to stop going out of my way for people, especially people that can't even give me 10% of what the fuck I gave them. I don't expect me from nobody else. That's where a lot of people go wrong. I don't expect me from anybody else. But it would just be fucking nice if in return people could at least give you 10 to 25% of what you've given to them, right? And that's with anything: time, attention, affection, gifts, whatever it is. Yeah, so I hope y'all don't ever, get ghosted by anybody. I hope nobody ever makes y'all feel like y'all ain't worth their time, that y'all don't matter. I hope that, y'all go on dates. I hope that y'all are in loving, caring relationships, that people make you feel respected, make you feel wanted, make you feel cared for and needed, and all the things, right? And if and when you fall at fault, please hold yourself accountable. Be apologetic about it and learn from it, grow from it, learn and unlearn the things that you need to, and just have good communication, because that shit goes a long way. And especially if you are an adult, somebody that is for real 35 and older, because even 30 people still be fucking up. But if you are somebody that's 35 and older, I really hope that you are getting to the point of being great at communication, and dealing with like your emotions and all of that stuff, honesty, loyalty, all of that. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Y'all done been all up in my business. I appreciate y'all for listening. Y'all could have been doing anything else or listening to anybody else, but y'all are listening to me, and I appreciate y'all for that. And stay beautiful. And till next time, the God Armani out. Peace.